Hello everyone. Let's continue the good stuff we've been doing. Here we have a very nice word problem which says that a boy has scored 80 on a test and is told this is 64% of the total score, and we are asked to find the total score here. So we know that the boy scored 80 on the test, so his score is 80. So let's write our solution, and then the boy's score is 80. So his score equals 80. And then what else do we know? Well, we know that this 80 is 64% to the total mark. So this total score is what we are asked to find. But this 64% information is going to help us find it. Here is how. We don't know the total mark yet, so we are going to assume, we will say let the total score be x. So let it be x. Now, let's find 64% of x. We just translate the of to multiplication, and this would become 64 over 100, which is 64% times x, or we may write it as 64x over 100. Now we may cancel out, so 4 here is 16, and then 4 here is 25. Since 25 times 4 is 100, and then 16 times 4 is 64. So this is equals to 16x over 25. Sorry about that. So we have 16x all divided by 25. So I will go through the problem again. Here we are told that this boy has scored 80 on the mark. So this is his score, 80. So he has scored 80 on a mark, and then this is equals to 64% of the total score. So this is equal to 64% of x, where x is his total score. So let's see here, this is equal to 64% of x, and this thing is exactly this as well. So what we have here is that 80 is actually equals to 16x over 25. According to the information given to us, 80 should be equal to 16x over 25. Now we will cross multiply. Let's multiply both sides by 25, and then here by 25. Then this 25 should cancel nicely. Then we have a 25 times 80 is equals to 16x. The next step is to divide both sides by 16. We divide both sides by 16. The 16 cancel out. Now let's go to another area. Here x would then be 25 times 80 all divided by 16. Now I did not do 25 times 80 because I wanted to cancel out. Let's say 4 here can go. So 4 here would be 40. Sorry, 4 here would be 20. Because 20 times 4 is 80. So here 4 here will be 20, and then 4 here would then be 4 as well. Extra 4 can go, 4 here 1, and then 4 here is 5. So in the end, s will then be 25 multiplied by 5. So this will be 125. So we have gotten the total score we were asked to find. Let's go through the problem again and see if we can understand it a little bit more better this time around. So we thought that the boy scored 80 on the test, and that this 80 is equals to 64% of the total score. Now we are asked to find the total score. What we did is that we just wrote 80 separately, and then this 80 is equals to 64% 80% of x. That is what we are told. And therefore this 80 should be 64 over 100 multiplied by x. Of course, this gave us 16x over 25, which led us to this part here where we did a lot of simplification. So it's a very nice problem, and I hope you're enjoying it. Let's see what the next problem has to say. Here we are told that we are given that if coffee costs 1.6 naira per kilogram per kilo, and then tea is 3.66 naira per kilo as well, we should find the cost of 1.75 kilo of coffee and then 0.5 kilo of tea. So we're just giving some products, a coffee here, and then this is tea, and the cost of this one, let's say coffee costs 1.6 naira per kilogram. So let's first go with coffee. The information is that coffee costs 1.6 kilogram, so sorry, 1.6 naira per kilogram, and then they asked us to find the cost of 1.75 kilogram of coffee. Sorry. Now, this is what we are going to do. The cost of 1.5 kilogram of coffee, and then this we are going to find it separately. So let us find the cost of 1.75 kilogram of coffee. Let's see if we can get the cost here. The way to do that is to come here and let's see. We're going to compare the relationship a lot. Excuse me, let me wipe this out. So here we're going to compare some relationships. Like we know that 1.6 naira is equals to 1 kilogram of coffee. 1 kilogram of coffee. 1 kilogram of coffee. So, but we're asked what is 1.75 kilogram? How much does 1.75 kilogram cost? So 1 kilogram costs 1.6 naira. What we're going to do next, since 1.6 naira equals to 1 kilogram, then 1.75 kilogram, if we multiply here by 1.75, multiply it by 1.6, let's put the naira here, and then let's multiply here as well by 1. Okay, that means the 5, 1.75. Let's say multiply it by 1, the kilogram. So 1.75 times 1 is equals to 1.75 kilogram. So this 1.75 kilogram equals 1.75 times 1.6 naira. So this is 1.75 times 1.6 naira. Now 1.75 times 1.6 is not too difficult to calculate, but for the sake of time I'll do it and tell us the answer. So we have 1.75 times 1.6, which is 2.8. So that means 2.8 naira. 2.8 naira is equals to 1.75 kilogram. So the cost of 1.75 kilogram is equals to 2.8 naira. Now the same thing we did for the coffee, we are going to do it for the tea as well. Let's see what we know about the tea. We are told that the tea is charged at 3.6 naira per kilogram. So this is for tea. Let me write in a different color. So this is for tea. For tea, we are told that tea costs 3.6 naira. So 3.6 naira per kilogram. we need the 0.5 kilogram of it. So just like before, we multiply this naira 3.6 naira, we multiply it by 0.5, and then here as well is multiplied by 0.5 kilogram. That is half a kilogram. Let's go to the, let's shift the body a little bit. So here, if we come to the next page here to work this out, we have to see that 0.5 kilogram we give us 3.6 multiplied by 0.5, but 3.6 multiplied by 0.5 is equals to, let me work that out, yes, to save our time. This is equals to 1.8 kilogram, sorry, 1.8 naira. 1.8 naira. That is the price of 0.5 kilogram of tea. So the question asks us to find the cost of 1.75 kilogram of coffee and then 0.5 kilogram of tea. Here, all we need to do is to add this cost for 1.75 kilogram of coffee, which is equals to 2.8 naira. We are going to add it to the cost of 0.5 kilogram of tea, which is 1.8. So when we do 2.8 and 1.8, we should get, here I'll do this one here. See, this here is 16.1. So transfer 1 over here 3 plus 1. So this is, we get 4.6 naira. So everything total should give us 4.6 naira as the cost of both the coffee and the tea. So let's go through what we did one more time before we move on to the next problem. So we are told that coffee costs 1.6 naira per kilogram and the tea costs 3.6 naira per kilogram. And the question is that we should find the cost of 1.75 kilogram of coffee and then 0.5 kilogram of tea. Now, what we did is to, this zero is not really material at all. It's not needed in the solution of the problem. Since 1.6 naira is equals to 1 kilogram of coffee, we just set it equals to 1 kilogram of coffee. And but we needed to find the cost of 1.75 kilogram. So all we have to do is to multiply both sides by 1.75 kilogram. And after having done that, we get that this whole thing equals 2.8 naira. We did the same thing for the tea to get 1.8 naira, and upon adding our result, we got the true value we needed. So that is all for this particular problem. Let's see what the next problem has to say. Okay, here we are told that Ali's monthly salary is 45 naira. So his salary is 45 naira, and then his salary was now increased by 1/5. And then we are asked what is Ali's monthly income for the whole of this year. Okay, well, his salary was 45 naira. So let's jot that down. So 45 naira, that is his salary. And then it was increased by 1/5. So what they did is that they took his salary, they found out 1/6 of the salary, sorry, 1/5 of the salary, 1/5 of 45, and then use that amount to increase the salary. So let's say the amount that they increase salary with. So 1/5 of 45 is 1/5 multiplied by 45, which is something as 45 divided by 5. Sorry about that. Microsoft Whiteboard, keep editing this for me. So this is equals to 9. So therefore 1/5 of 45 naira, 1/5 of 45 naira is equals to 9 naira. 9 naira. So we now know that they increased the salary by 9 naira. So if he was receiving 45 naira before, his salary now should be 45 plus 9, which is, if we do this here, no, this is 45, 9. So this is 14, this is 54. So his salary should be 54 naira as the correct amount. His salary should be 54 naira. So that is, we have answered the question. They asked us what was Ali's income for the whole of this year. So let's go through what we did. The salary for for this particular year, last year, was just 45 naira. Then they decided to increase it by 1/5, which means they added 9 naira to his amount. So in this case, he should be receiving 54 naira, since 55 plus 9 is 54. So a very interesting problem. Let's see what the next problem has to offer us again. Okay, we are told that in this problem, the third part of a number is greater than its fifth part by 2. So those are the key words, and we have to find the number. In mathematics, we usually begin by letting x be the unknown number. So let x be the number. Let x be that number. Now, before I analyze the problem, I have to give us one particular understanding we need to solve this problem. Let a number be, let's say, 7. Of course, 7 is more than 3. But by how much? 7 is more than 3 by 4. So that means if you add this 4 to 3, it should be equal to 7. Like 7 should be equal to 3 plus 4. Now let's ask ourselves again, is 8 more than 5? The answer is yes. By how much? By 3. Therefore, if we add 3 to 5, 8 should be equals to 5 plus 3. So this is the understanding we need to approach this problem. And we're going to be making use of it in the solution. And I will highlight the parts we used it. So let's see the solution. Now, the third part of a number. So this x now, we need the third part. So third part of x is 1 over 3x. Okay, so it's greater than its fifth part. So fifth part of x is 1 over 5x. Okay, by what? By 2. So now we have that the third part of x is greater than its fifth part by 2. So just like before, this should tell us that 1 over 3x should equal 1 over 5x plus 2. So this is the word problem equation that we need to solve this problem completely. So let's go to this page here now and analyze this equation, and let's solve the equation completely as well. So we have arrived at a very nice equation here, which is that 1 over 3x equals to 1 over 5x plus 2. What we'll do here is look for the LCM of denominators and multiply both sides by that number. The LCM gives us 15. So 15 here, multiply 1 over 3x is equals to 15 here, multiplying 1 over 5x, and this is plus 15. We say multiply 2 as well. Most people may forget to multiply this number 2 by 15 because they feel that the relationship is between 3 and 5, but not really. You have to multiply the 15 by with all the terms in the equation so that our answer will be valid. So 3 here should be 1 and 3 here should be 5. So 5x is what we are having here. For the same reason, this should be 5 here 1, 5 here 3, and this is 3x. But then this, sorry, not an equals to sign. Then this will be equal to 30, as 15 multiplied by 2 is 30. So all we'll do is to take this 3x over here, but then it will change sign. So we are having 5x minus 3x equals to 30. So we have 2x equals to 30. This should be easy now for us. Since 2x, let me demarcate it. Since 2x, let me use a different color. 2x equals to 30. divide both side by 2, divide both side by 2, and then x will be 30 over 2, which is really 15. So the number is 15. So 1/3 of this 15 is greater than 1/5 by 2. Now let's go through the problem again. We are saying that the third part of a number is greater than its fifth part by 2, and we're asked to find the number. What we basically did is that we realized that the third part is 1 over 3x, and the fifth part is 1 over 5x, and then we use the notation that since this is greater than this by this, this equation must be true. It must be true. So that is all for this problem. Let's look at the next one, see what it has to say. So here we are told that mangoes were bought at 120 for 1 naira and sold at 1 kobo each. What was the profit or loss percent? So here you buy 120 mangoes. So let's see solution. You buy 120 mangoes for 1 naira only. So and then it's sold at 1 kobo each. A kobo, let's convert this. A kobo, actually 1 kobo is equal to, no, I think I reversed it. The conversion rate is that 100 kobo is equals to 1 naira. That is the conversion rate for naira to kobo. So 100 kobo is equals to 1 naira. So you are selling this mango for 1 naira each. So no, sorry, you bought it at 1 naira each. Therefore, the cost of buying this at 1 naira each is 120 times 1, which is 120 naira. So you have to spend 120 naira to get this mango. But then you sold it at 1 kobo each. Wow. So like you sold this mango at 1 kobo each. So 1 kobo here, 1 kobo should be equals to 0.01 naira when we divide both sides by 100, if that is the case. So this you sold it at the rate of 0.01 multiplied by 120. So this will revert. This we have to shift the point 2 places. So therefore you sold it at 1.2 naira. 1.2 naira. That is, wow. So you bought it at 120 naira and you sold it at 1.2 naira. So you actually made a huge loss here. The loss is so huge. So let's see. The cost was 120. Sorry about that. I'll write it a different color. So the cost here, is 120 naira, and then you sold it at selling price 1.2 naira. So your loss here, you actually did a loss here. It's actually the cost price minus selling price. Cost price minus selling price. So this is 120 minus 1.2. So 120. So this is 8 here, and this is this 9 here minus 1 8, and this is so this is 118. 118.8 naira. That is your loss. You lost 118.8 naira when you spent 120. So you spent 120 naira, spent 120 naira, and then you now lost 118 naira. You now lost 118 naira. So your loss percentage is actually 118. Okay, it's 118.8 really. 118.8 all divided by 120 multiplied by 100%. So this is the loss percent of you, and then if we plug in this, we can just simply cross out 0 here, and then we can simply cross out some 2 here. But you can just do that on your own while I plug it into my calculator and see what it gives me for the sake of time. So we have 118.8 divided by 120 or multiplied by 100. So we have 9 points. Yeah, we have 9.8%. Yeah, so 9.8%. Like approximately. So that is all for this particular problem. Let's go to the last problem we are going to solve in this video. Oh wait, let's see. Let's go through the problem and see. Okay, there is no each here. There is no, and I was calling each all this while. There's no each here. This means we have to really reduce the problem. There is no each here. Actually, there is no each here. It's actually 120 for 1 naira. I was calling each all this while, and there was no each available there. So sorry about that, and let's redo the video because there is no each here. This shows how you can get a problem wrong if you read the problem in a different way. So let's see. So mangoes were bought at 120 for 1 naira. Not each. There is no each. There is no each here. I was reading each in the previous time. So 120 for 1 naira, and so that's 1 kobo each. So if we are selling it at 1 kobo each, that means for selling 120 mangoes, we must have made 120 kobo. So, but then we bought it at 1 naira. That is, we bought it at 100 kobo. 100 kobo was we bought it at 100 kobo cost price. This is our cost price, and then the 120 kobo is our selling price. So therefore let me wipe this out. So therefore the selling price, the profit we made is actually equals to the selling price, because we made profit, minus the cost price. So this is 120 kobo minus 100 kobo. This is equals to 20 kobo. So the percentage profit here, percentage profit would be 20 kobo we made all over the 100 multiplied by 100%, because it was 100 kobo we invested. So this cancel out, and the answer is 20%. Yeah, I think I was really wondering why I had to get 9.8%, where I don't think these numbers were actually confusing, but it came from me reading the problem of putting each where there is no each. So sorry about that, and of course I did not want to remove this part from the video because I wanted to show you that solving the problem, you may make mistake and you have to come back and correct it. Always accept that you made mistake and correct it. So let's see what the next problem has to say. Okay, it says that the average age of 4 men is 50. So we have 4 guys. Let's say solution. We have 4 guys, A, B, C, comma D, and the average age is 50. Is 43. No, sorry, it's 50 actually. But the average age of any 3 of them is 43. So what was the age of the other man? Well, just like I said in the previous video, average, to get average, you only need to do the sum total of things there and the number of items there, number of items. So here now, the average is the age of A plus age of B plus age of C plus age of D, all divided by the amount they are. They are 4 in number. See, 4 men. So this average is equals to 50. So that means A plus B plus C plus D all divided by 4 equals to 50. So let's see. Multiply here by 4 and multiply here by 4. So this 4 we have to cancel out. So the sum of the ages is 50 times 4. That should be 200. Yeah, so it's 200. The sum of the ages is 200. But we are told that the the average age of 3 of them is 43. So let's keep this information, this part, and see what we know. Let's pick 3 of them. I'll pick the one I like because they say any 3 of them. So you can actually pick Mr. A, B, and D, or Mr. B, C, and D. So I'll pick Mr. A, B, and C. So A, B plus C. The average age is equal to 43. That is what we are told of any 3 of them. Now, what we'll do next is to multiply both sides by 3. And then multiply here by 3. So that 3 cancel out 3. Then A plus B plus C will be equals to 43 times 3. So this is 43, 3, this is 9, and this is 12. So this is 129. A plus B plus C is 129. So the sum of the ages of 3 men there, their ages give us 129. So if we come back to this our equation again, where we have this from A plus B plus C equals to, no, so C plus D equals to 200. And we know that here, we know that A plus B plus C alone is 129. So we have to take out this part and write 129 plus D equals to 200. So D will then be 200 minus 129. That should be 171 years, right? Yeah, 71 years. D would then be 71 years old. So that is the age of the other man. Let's go back to what this video says. The problem says that the average of 4 men is 50, and we use this way by taking the age. We took the ages as A plus B plus C plus D. This is the 4 men, their ages over 4 is 50. We are also told that the average age of 3 of them is 43. So we know that A plus B plus C over 3 is equals to 43. It is from this equation here that we are able to solve this one completely by plugging in, by putting for A, B, and C what we found here. So thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. Thank you very much and have a nice day.